Hey gamers, welcome back to the Pashcast, the only show that proudly admits it sings the Great Mighty Pooh song from Conker's Bad Fur Day while taking a dump. I'm Pashford, editor-in-chief of GamerSyndrome.com, and you're listening to the Pashcast. A bit of a different episode today as we celebrate our 1 week anniversary of starting the show. I kind of need to change up the formula of Pashcasts, not necessarily the structure, but how often we get them. While I will be doing a micro burst of Pashcasts every day, I'll only be doing full-blown Pashcasts every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and this is technically the Monday episode. And what I mean by doing something different is I'm very excited to share with you, first time for me as well, it's an interview with a producer from Rare named Adam Park as he talks to us about Rare Replay. I interviewed Adam when I was attending E3 2015, which is a super good time. I'm sure you'll hear about that till the cows come home or till next E3 because I absolutely love E3. One of my favorite things ever. And I was super psyched to get this interview because it was my first ever face-to-face audio interview. And Adam was a gentleman in sharing some exclusive information about Rare Replay, which is coming out today, actually, for when this episode is launching, August 4th. And I think anyone who is a longer-time gamer, a newer-time gamer, a Rare fan, a fan of humor, good game design, definitely any 90s kid who's a fan of the N64 glory days is going to have a lot to look forward to with Rare Replay because it's 30 games for $30. Celebrating Rare's 30th anniversary. We got stuff like Snake Rattle Roll and Jetpack for any of you old school fans. We've got stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, then Banjo-Tooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day. We got Killer Instinct. For any of you newer Rare fans, we also have stuff like Viva Pinata. And for anyone who's ever hated difficulty in video games, Battletoads is making a return, a triumphant return. Or a sad, very sad, I'm going to break my controller return. Depends on your experience, probably the second one. But I wanted to give a bit of an introduction to it, just because, that's how Pashcast works. I'm super excited about this game. That's why I want to interview Adam. That's why I'm doing this now. I know I'm going to play the shit out of this game. The first game I'm going to play, even though it's already been released after the fact, is Conker's Bad Fur Day, because that game is just one of the most classic games. And I'm going to love playing through it and all of its absurdity. So, yeah, this is the Rare Replay I did, E3 2015. I'm sharing with you now. What better time than ever on the release day of the game. So I hope you enjoy the interview. Thanks for stopping by for Pashcast. Check you later. This is Pasha Morano reporting live from the Microsoft press event in downtown LA. I'm reporting for Gamer Syndrome, and I'm covering E3 2015. I'm here with Adam, a producer from Rare, and he's here to talk to us about all the awesome games they have here. Hello, Adam.
Hello, you. How are you?
I'm great. What are you most excited to showcase this year at E3?
So, obviously, Rare Replay is looking back at 30 years of Rare's history. So, we knew we were 30 this year. We thought, how can we celebrate? We know the fans have been asking for a lot of these games for a long time. So we thought the best thing to do would be to take all these wonderful games and put them into one box. So 30 games, $30, 30 years. That was our tagline from the start, and we stuck with it.
Yeah, I got great crowd reception at the Xbox showcase. Everyone was going really, really crazy. Did you guys do anything special for any of the games that are included, add extra content, that kind of thing?
So the actual core games themselves are just as you remember them. So we made a decision really early on not to go in, not to kind of engineer them or HD them, to leave them as they were. We've added a lot of extra in there though, so we could have just put 30 games in the box. We've got over 100 snapshots. So snapshots are these little kind of bite-sized challenge modes. So if you're new to a game, say Battletoads, you've never played Battletoads, instead of having to kind of go in at the deep end, instead you can kind of have a taster for it. And I say taster, I mean, they're pretty difficult. These old games are hard, so another thing we put in was a replay feature. So because the old games didn't used to have save states in, we thought it's only fair that A, we put save states in, but we allow people that bit of grace so they can rewind as well. And on top of that, we've made sure there is extra stuff for people who just want to learn about Rare, people who love the video games, popular culture in general. So there's over an hour and a half of film content in there. So we've gone back, we spoke to loads of the devs who originally made these games. So we've got documentaries about games that are in the pack. We've got documentaries about games that we never released, so things that never made it to market. and then we've got concept art galleries, soundtracks. So we've really tried to make this feel like a box set, like a big collector's edition, rather than it just being, here's a load of games chucked in a box and you just kind of start them by pressing a button. We want it to feel as loved as any other Rare game.
Well, that is amazing. Microsoft went out of their way to point out that this particular collection is worth 10,000 gamer score. How is that divvied up, and what would you say is one of the hardest achievements in the game?
So the 10,000 gamer score, so if you've already played any of the 360 titles, you don't have to play those again to get the achievements. They'll automatically come through to Rare Replay. Everything else is distributed evenly. Now that's quite a challenge when you're looking at a game from the Spectrum that's quite small compared to some of the later games, so you had to be quite creative with how we dished them out. In terms of difficult ones, oh, that's interesting. Anything to do with Battletoads?
I was going to say, just even getting past level 2 is going to be a really hard one.
That's just a given. Battletoads are all difficult. But beyond that, we've got stuff like, there's a very good, I don't want to spoil the name of it, there's a very good Killer Instinct one in there. You have to play a lot of multiplayer to get it, but it's a fantastically named and very much harks back to Rare's early years.
Brilliant. Are you guys talking any more about Sea of Thieves? The replay collection is awesome, and all the games really speak for themselves because people have been asking for them so long. Any extra details you want to include as far as where you guys are going with Sea of Thieves, or something that maybe you guys didn't get to say at like the Microsoft press conference?
Not at the moment. So we thought when we came, we really wanted to show this collection. So Rare Replay, it's our past 30 years, but we wanted to make sure that people know that, because Rare's always looks to the future, new things to create, new ways to play, new ways to innovate. So we wanted to show that we're still doing that. So what Sea of Thieves is doing is taking all of those influences from our past and bringing them to our future. So it was just a little taster for everyone, but there'll be plenty more to see. Go to seaofthieves.com if you want to find out a little bit more. It's all there for you.
Fantastic. Actually, to the point of the Rare Replay, do all the games or all the games that are applicable come with split screen or same TV co-op?
So anything that was there originally, we've retained. So anything that had multiplayer and was co-op is still multiplayer and co-op. Anything that had live play included has got live play. So we really strove to retain the essence. So those people who are going back for the purposes of nostalgia, it will be exactly as you remember, and that's why we've put in filters as well. So you can play it looking a lot more kind of HD and pretty, but if you click the right stick, it will take you right back to CRT, all the fuzz, the grain, the scan line. So we wanted it to feel as good as you remember it.
Old school and awesome. I'll end by saying, what is your favorite game in this collection?
That's difficult. Can I have two?
You totally can.
I'm going to have two. So Battletoads Arcade, never been on a console before, only on the arcade. It's phenomenal, that game. And then probably Viva Pinata as well. I worked on that game and I loved that game so much when I worked on it that I can still play it. Even though I worked on it for years, it's just fantastic. So I'm going, Viva Pinata or Battletoads Arcade.
You know, even though Viva Pinata was created later in the 360 cycle, I think it has enough quality to stand with all the Rare classics, so I'm with you on that one. Thank you very much for joining us, Adam. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. It's been great.